Welcome to the Comic Scoop, everyone. Now, I am doing the review for April 27th, 2022. Now, this video is going to be a two-part video because there was such a huge haul. So many great stuff that came out this past week. So this is going to be part one. Now, I'm going to start off with a couple of finales coming out of AWA Upshot. First one up is The Fourth Man. So Fourth Man starts off with the original car salesman that the hit was put onto, and he's thrown into this ditch by some unknown man, and he weasels his way out of death, basically, pretty much offering his killer significantly more money than what he was promised. And from this point on, we see who he is. It's that guy that kind of makes me think of Jason Aaron. So right after this happens, we're in present time where the investigators have found someone dead in this car, who is the opposing car salesman, Romano, the one who originally put out the hit. And through this story, it kind of does a lot of connecting the dots from the last three issues, which was really neat. So the man who was about to be killed, he basically offers 200 grand to kill anyone who's connected to this hit. So it goes on to see this guy kill his friend in the car from issue 2. We go to see, or I guess that's the end of issue 3. Then we see the Bill Paxton character killed, and that one was in issue 2. And we go all the way back to the beginning where the man who was just recently found, Romano, was in prison. Dead in the car. Different kind of prison. So he comes up to the car salesman, D'Agostino, is his name, and he's asking for the rest of his payment, which the guy basically tells him that it's his word against him, and there's nothing he can do. So move along. Whatever. This killer lets him have it, but when the car salesman goes to start his car, we know who gets the last laugh. And I really love the way this is capped off, because everything's going well. These investigators have no idea what's going to happen. So they're on their way to get gas, and they basically decide that we're worried about the people in the morgue later. The news is going to want to know what's happened now with the most recent murders. And as they're doing this, the guy who pumps their gas has the same tattoo that Charlie had in issue 2. And they start to connect those dots. One officer decides they're going to ask him if he knows who Charlie Haywork was, and see if he has any kind of reaction. And just the final scene of this is so great. We have the killer reaching into or rummaging through his trunk, where this officer comes and asks, I've got a question for you. And it shows there with his gun right at the ease of grasp. They stare at each other eye to eye. And then he simply answers, shoot. And I love that. The square is showing, how close their hands are to both of their guns. And it's a wrap. This was so great. I know a lot of times they make movies out of comics, and this is definitely a comic that is made as a movie, and I 100% need to see this on the big screen, because it's so fantastic. Like, even this really great cover A is done in a very nice movie poster style, which I guess they all are, but this is my favorite one. So good. Alright, so that's the end of The Fourth Man. Now, Also from AWA Upshot, we conclude the Volume 2 of Hotel, number 5. This one was really great. And actually, oh, oh, I see. Cool. So, from where we left off, there's this biker gang, the 66s, or whatever lame name they have. They have now completely taken over the hotel, and everyone is being held hostage. Their leader, Silver, I believe is his name, he starts to question what's happening in this hotel. Every time he looks at the painting of Pirot, it's in a different position. And so he brings the hotel owner and starts asking him, "What's up with this painting? What's up with your hotel? I've been down this road so many times, never seen this nook here." The owner mentions to him that the way how this hotel works is it reveals itself to people who are chosen, so to speak. And whatever, Silver, goes on this whole monologue about how he doesn't go by anyone's rules, he makes his own way and such, and douses the painting of the clown in bleach and sets it ablaze, which is a big mistake. So they have a little scuffle here, and of course, the prisoners don't really have much of the upper hand. But now, it's when it starts to get kind of weird. So as these captives are trying to get out, this one guy all of a sudden has a nail in his head, and he's torn through the ground and getting just pulverized. And we have this guy pop out over here. But I really love this. This guy's just screaming home while he's digging his way out of this guy's entrails. And then it has a nice little editor's note here, because this character is actually a quick nod to issue 3 of the first volume, where we find this really creepy guy that's living within the walls. More on that another time. But that's going on, and we have the one lady that was in I believe issue 2 with the artist. She has the magic notebook where if you draw anything in there, it comes to life. So she is told to draw on Parrot the clown, and as she's working on that, there's the little girl who's feeling ill, and I don't really know how to answer this, but she just suddenly turns into this monster. This monster tears through her. I don't know, it's a giant worm or turd thing. He was definitely having tummy troubles, but now that's out of her, and it's murdered all these baddies. And while that's happening, Silver thinks he's gonna have his way with this lady, but she reveals that she drew the clown, and he then tears his way through the notebook, or out of the notebook, and has his way with good old Silver here. Ripping off his mask and essentially imprisoning him within the painting alongside together for eternity. And that's a wrap. That monster turns into some tree. Everyone goes their separate ways. And, yeah, I love this. And how the painting moves. So it's there with its creepy face holding on to this guy's leg, right? The next panel, it's looking at him and his leg's missing. And at the very end, his arm is missing too, and there's blood on the clown's face. What a way to end it. Yeah, Hotel is great. Now I'm curious. I never thought they'd do a volume 2, so I'm really curious to see if they'll do a volume 3. So yeah, that was fantastic. Alright, sticking with some of the indie comics, we're going to go to issue 2 of We Have Demons. Coming through Comixology and printed by Dark Horse. This one's neat. We get a little backstory of Gus, or Halor, who is on the cover. He's the best friend of the main character Lamb's father and partner in their demon slaying. So we got a little of his backstory of how he's kind of one of the oldest beings in existence because what was he? He was born like 1,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, and he went off on some adventure with his buddies, and was essentially infected with the horn, and then fell into ice and became frozen. So he was kind of like Captain America style. He was in like cryo, unofficial cryo, and basically became this monster with the horn infection. But Lamb's father was the only one that saw some good in him, and with his own blade, created a halo, a literal halo, to keep the horn demon at bay. Now, together with all the other warriors, they're now on the route to go to this site where a meteor is supposed to hit, and the meteor is supposed to bring more halo, or the special material that their weapons are created with. And this is like the last prophecy that Lamb's father had made, and they all trust him, so they're all gonna go there. But before they reach there, they're ambushed by a family, of demons, actually, and they have this really crazy brawl in the plane here, and these demons actually manage to snag the halo off of Gus, making him go full demon and raging out, which luckily he's able to use that rage to kill all the other demons and not his people, but he got really close there. And they secure the halo back onto him, and he's now back to himself, which is good, but kind of scary that that's like a thing that can happen just by removing his halo like immediately. Now, there's a part here that I like absolutely loved. I thought it was so cool, and I kind of wish it was fleshed out a little bit more too. But the person who's basically their leader currently comes up with the theory that the only way for that ambush to have happened was if they have a traitor amongst themselves. That's the only way these demons would have known where they were going. And she procured a vial of demon blood. And now demon blood reacts to something else that contains demon blood. And I really love this scene because I'm a huge, huge fan of John Carpenter's The Thing. And this really gave me The Thing vibes. Like the scene when everyone's tied down and they're doing the test to see who or who isn't the Thing. So they kind of do something like that here, and they finally see it reacting to someone. Or is it behind them? So they take the vial behind into the other room, where Lamb's father is laying in his coffin. And the thing that no one can believe is it's reacting to him. And then that's when he wakes and distorts and reveals to be a demon himself. Wow. Yeah, We Have Demons was really great. Alright, so we're gonna slide into Marvel. This is issue 3 of Sabretooth. I am absolutely digging Sabretooth. This is probably my favorite X-Men thing right now. And it's cool. So within the last issue, the group who are, suffering in hell basically have found a way that they can communicate with, people on topside. So Sabretooth has sent out a few of them to find, like, other people, other mutants that he has worked with in the past. But, of course, they're not going to completely trust what Sabretooth wants. So they all start recruiting, like, their own folk, slowly getting the word out that they are unjustly being imprisoned within Krakoa. So I'm curious to see what more is going to happen there. But we continue to see more of Sabretooth like power within this world, and yeah, I don't know. But now, like, the seed has been planted, and we get to see what may happen. How are they going to be freed from here? All right, now sticking with Marvel, we're gonna do Punisher issue 2. I absolutely love this cover. Just like white, the trail of blood, and Punisher hurrying over there. You have all the shurikens in his body armor. It's really cool. This issue, we get a little bit of Frank Castle backstory, and kind of shows that he, even as a child, he was disturbed and showing those early signs of a killer. Now, what is especially interesting about this is the leader of the Hand allegedly has been watching Frank his entire life because believing that he was born to be the fist of the Hand, or the fist of the beast, as they say. So he is working with them because they have resurrected his wife, and he's hoping that they can resurrect the rest of his family. But we even see here, there she is. And she goes up to Frank as a child, which one of these blades are yours? And he obviously thinks she's a weirdo. But now we go back into present time. We have Punisher here, basically like a king, and we have one of these apostles come up to him, trying to give him a banner cannon, I guess to like make peace, but it's all a ruse, and that guy is actually there to kill the fist of the beast. He tears through his body to pull out a gun, which is really badass. I thought that was so cool. Well, he's the Punisher, and a simple gun's not gonna stop him. He gets wrecked. Yeah, I love this page right here. It's so good. Well, yeah, they beat him, I think, to the brink of death. He's not necessarily dead, and his leader brings up to him again. It's like, I've asked you this once before. Let me ask you again. Which blade belongs to you? And he chooses one, which happens to be the same blade that the last fist carried. So, is he in the reincarnation of this person? Maybe so. And now that he has fully proven himself, he is shown into a secret lair where he is introduced to the Beast. And now we go to these apostles, and they're having a little gang rivalry, and we get to meet who their leader is, which I don't know why they do this like slow review like we don't already know, but just judging by how these guys, like the helmets they wear, and they're all about war, their leader is none other than the god of war himself, Ares. So we'll see where this goes. That's Punisher. Alright, so we're going to jump into Image Comics with Rogue Sun number 3. And I forgotten that I actually did not feature Rogue Sun number 2 when I went back to flesh out the stories more. So just real quick, this whole issue has the Rogue Sun fighting this werewolf bat guy. And I mentioned how Dylan's being like tormented by the ghost of his father, and after I read this, he's literally being tormented by his father. So his dad's consciousness is connected to the Firestone, and so as long as Dylan is wearing this suit, he is getting regular guidance, you can call it, from his dad. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. Now we go into Rogue Sun 3 right after this, where Dylan's step sister kind of like shows him what to do with this werewolf that he defeated. So we pick up from there, and they're on their way to this jewelry store. That's unlike any other jewelry store around. So this one is actually a prison for these non-human baddies. They are turned into these crystals, or imprisoned within these crystals, and they all have their own individual sentence going on in there. Dylan is unsure of, the ethics in that, but he doesn't think too much about it. Now, talking with his dad has a theory that it might have been his youngest son who put the hits to kill him. So they start to follow him, and they see him with this sketchy guy out in the middle of the woods. So Dylan, as the rogue son, just goes in there and starts wailing on this guy, and his face melts and then gets put back together as they're fighting. So it's revealed that this character, his name is Root, Finnegan Root, who is a witch doctor that takes the form of roadkill that he finds along the way. They have a pretty neat battle here, but then once Dylan brings up the idea of Root being being the one who killed Rogue's son, he's like, no, I never had any problem with Rogue's son. If I'm gonna kill someone, it's for a reason. And we find out that the reason why these two are meeting is because not Dylan, the youngest son, he was trying to buy something called Death Sage, which he wanted to use to summon his father's spirit. Dylan eases his mind by saying that his father still loves him very much, and that he one day can grow up to become the rogue son when he's ready. Now, it gets very nefarious. We go back to the jewelry store, and the owner is noticing one of the gems are missing, and then realizes who is there last. Now, big spoiler reveal here. We get to see that it is the stepdaughter who stole this gem, who is behind the death of her father, and is going to stop at nothing to get the Firestone. The end. Oh, but wait, there's more. Like a post-credit scene, we get to see Billy here, who is that werewolf in the beginning of the story, and from issue 2, running around this cornfield trying to find his way out, but he can't, because this is his prison. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Alright, now speaking of really cool, I know this is what we're all waiting for. Godzilla number 2 versus the Power Rangers by IDW. This is a variant cover. I forgot the names. Diaz last name. No, they have it featured in the back here. Nitho Diaz. The cover A is this one right over here, which is Freddie Williams II. That one was cool, but I just really love the Megazord and Godzilla kind of squaring off together there, because that is the battle that we are in for in this issue. We got all the Zords come together after having a small little skirmish with Godzilla, and we get Megazord versus the King of Monsters. And this battle was great, but I could go for more for sure. I kind of wish the entire issue was just straight up them fighting, but maybe later on we'll see. But yeah, they have this nice little battle. They even bring out their Megazord's sword, thinking that they can use that against Godzilla. But what they don't anticipate is Godzilla's good old radiation blast. And they kind of do each other in. Now Rita's excited here, thinking that they both destroyed each other. Unfortunately, that isn't the case. Godzilla just kind of runs away into the ocean, where he'll just heal himself, and the aliens from Planet X take their UFOs and start attacking the Megazords. So they all split up and go their own ways. And unfortunately for them, the Zalians send out trusty old Gigan to take them down, which I thought was really cool. Gigan's one of my favorite monsters in the Godzilla lore, so it's kind of neat to get to see him in here and watch the Rangers fight. So, yeah, we're going to see what's happening. I know Tommy's trying to get a hold of his Dragon Zord so he can give an extra boost to the Megazord. And while this is going on, Rita, puts her own little 2 cents in and has two of the classic Mighty Morphin Power Ranger monsters come out in here, the Eye Guy and Rhino Blaster. So let's see what this is going to go. Let's go. But we got to wait for next month for that. Alright, we're almost done with this video. Now, a little quick thing here on the theme of Power Rangers and, cool nostalgia stuff like that. We got the final issue for Last Ronin. Finally. So, issue 4 came out in September. It's now April, well, I guess it's now May, and issue 5 is finally out, and this was great. And because this was such a big issue, and it's the finale of a miniseries, I'm actually gonna hold off on the review of this for another time and just review the entire miniseries for you guys, because what was it? The last issue came out way before I started even doing my reviews, and to not have you guys so completely out of context, we're just going to start with issue 1 and do all 5 of them together in another video. But to finish off the reviews of this week, here is Something is Killing the Children, issue 22, and here's another one of those die-cut Bloody Mass covers that are oh so sweet. I found out that is Jenny Frizen who does these covers. And this one was great. We start off with this home here, and there's everyone and monsters are dead. We got one of the Slayers here just having a nice little cup of tea with her dolly, and she's interrupted by another one of the assassins, and she's told that she has a mission in America because there's a house of slaughter that has a rogue agent, and she's supposed to go and get her. So while this is happening, we have that rogue agent in question, Erica, trying to make nice with this little kid who has, seen a monster just like how we started the series. And this kid does not, want to cooperate with Erica and kind of like tells on her, but there's all these little things. Erica's doing her little investigation. There's an officer here that's trying to figure things out about these murders himself. But yeah, so I'm excited to see where this is going to go because Erica's definitely in trouble, and she starts snooping around at one of the murder scenes, or, slaughter scenes, and is, of course, arrested, and she ends up leaving her doll behind. And in case you don't know, these dolls are... like, each of these Slayers have their own monster, and the monsters are imprisoned in these dolls. So, leaving one behind, I have no idea what that's going to do. We are at the tail end of our video here. I just want to feature some of the variant covers that I got this week. These are all part of the Spider-Man 60th anniversary tribute. So we got Silk number 4 with this really lovely cover of Silk, like sliding down a building on her webbing. Carnage number 2. And I thought this Spider-Man Carnage monster was absolutely sick, because if Spider-Man were to get the Carnage symbiote, he wouldn't look anything like this. Like, this is disgusting. I love it. We got Silver Surfer Rebirth number 4. And I absolutely love the cosmic energy around his hands there. And he's got the Spidey suit just in silver. And Thor number 24, which is actually a pretty big issue. And I say we're at the end of this video, but remember, this is part 1 of 2. Now let me show you a few of the things that we're going to feature in the part 2, which we will feature issue 24 of Thor. And yeah, that's Let's see, we got that. We have Justice League 75, Death of the Justice League. It's absolutely really great cover here. Now, with the exception of Justice League, this whole part 2 video will actually be more than anything Marvel dominant. We got Crimson Reign #4 coming out. A very first issue of Amazing Spider-Man with the very new run. And yeah, Carnage #2. So you guys have all that to look forward to coming up here soon. Until then, catch you next time. Bye.